Please don't forget to subscribe to our channel for more English story. In a quiet village nestled between green hills and a sparkling river, lived a young woman named Alina. She was kind, intelligent, and full of dreams. But life had not been easy for her. After losing her parents at a young age, Alina had learned to be independent, working tirelessly to make a life for herself. Yet, amidst her busy days, she often felt a void, a longing for something she couldn't quite name. One morning, as the village buzzed with its usual energy, a new face appeared. His name was Ethan, a traveling artist who had come to capture the beauty of the village on his canvas. He was charming but quiet, his eyes carrying the weight of untold stories. The villagers were curious about him, but Ethan kept mostly to himself, spending hours painting by the river. Fate had its plans, though, and one day, while Alina was walking home with a basket of flowers, she stumbled upon Ethan sitting under a large oak tree, sketching the scenery. "Excuse me," she said shyly. "I didn't mean to interrupt you." Ethan looked up and smiled. "You're not interrupting at all. Please, join me." A connection begins. What started as a chance meeting turned into daily conversations. Alina would bring her flowers, and Ethan would share stories of the places he had visited. They talked about art, life, dreams, and fears. For Alina, Ethan's presence was like a breath of fresh air. He saw the world through colors and emotions, teaching her to appreciate the beauty in everyday moments. For Ethan, Alina was a revelation. Her strength, her laughter, and her resilience inspired him in ways he hadn't felt before. She reminded him of the joy of connection, something he had lost while drifting from place to place. The challenge of love. But love, as miraculous as it is, comes with its challenges. Ethan was a traveler, and his heart belonged to the road. Alina, on the other hand, had deep roots in the village, tied to its people and its rhythms. As their bond grew stronger, so did the questions. Could love bridge their differences? Could Ethan settle in one place? Or would Alina leave behind the only home she had ever known? One evening, as they sat by the river watching the sunset, Ethan turned to Alina. "I've been thinking about us," he said softly. Alina's heart skipped a beat. "And I'm scared," Ethan admitted. "Scared of losing what we have, but also scared of holding you back. I don't want you to give up your life for me." Alina reached for his hand. Love isn't about giving up. It's about finding a way forward together. The miracle unfolds. Over the weeks that followed, they worked to find that way forward. Ethan began teaching art classes in the village, sharing his talents with the children and learning to love the community. Alina, inspired by Ethan's adventurous spirit, started a small flower shop that drew visitors from nearby towns. They found a balance between their dreams and their love, each encouraging the other to grow. Ethan no longer felt the pull of the road as strongly. And Alina discovered that her heart could expand to embrace new possibilities. One day, as they stood by the river where they had first met, Ethan held Alina's hands and said, "You've shown me that love isn't a chain, it's wings. It doesn't hold you down, it lifts you up. You've changed my life, Alina. And you've shown me that love isn't about fear." Alina replied, "It's about faith in each other and in the future we can create together." The everlasting miracle. Their love story became a source of inspiration for the village. It wasn't perfect, but it was real, built on understanding, compromise, and mutual respect. Together, Alina and Ethan proved that love could transform lives, not by solving every problem, but by giving people the courage to face them. As the seasons changed, their love only grew stronger, a testament to the miracle of connection and the power of two hearts choosing each other every day. And in that little village by the river, where dreams and reality intertwined, the miracle of love lived on, not just in Alina and Ethan's story, but in the lives they touched with their unwavering faith in the power of love. Part 2. The seasons rolled on, and Alina and Ethan's love deepened. They found joy in the little things, sharing morning tea under the oak tree, painting together by the river, and working side by side in the village. But, as often happens in life, challenges arose to test the strength of their bond. The call of the road. One crisp autumn evening, Ethan received a letter from an art gallery in the city. They wanted to feature his work in a grand exhibition, an opportunity he had dreamed of for years. The invitation was an honor, but it also meant leaving the village for several months, possibly even longer. Ethan's heart was torn. He didn't want to leave Alina, but he also couldn't ignore the pull of his passion. That night, as they sat together in the flower shop, Ethan shared the news. Alina's smile faltered, but she quickly masked her emotions. "This is wonderful. Ethan, you've worked so hard for this moment. You should go." "I don't want to leave you," Ethan said, his voice heavy with emotion. "But this is something I've always dreamed of." Alina placed her hand on his. "Dreams are important. Love doesn't mean holding someone back. It means supporting them, even when it's hard." Though her words were strong, her heart ached. The thought of Ethan being far away brought back the fear of losing him. The distance between them. The day Ethan left was bittersweet. Alina stood at the village's edge, waving as his car disappeared down the road. She held on to the promise he had made. "I'll come back to you, Alina. This is my home now. You are my home." At first, Alina tried to keep busy. She poured her energy into the flower shop, taught gardening to local children, and spent time with friends. But as the weeks turned into months, the loneliness began to creep in. Ethan's letters arrived regularly, filled with stories of the bustling city, the gallery's excitement, and his longing for her. Alina cherished each word, but she couldn't shake the fear that the city might steal him away for good. Ethan, too, struggled with the distance. His art flourished, and the exhibition was a success. But every accomplishment felt hollow without Alina by his side. He realized that no amount of praise or recognition could replace the warmth of her presence. The test of love. One day, a letter from Ethan arrived, and Alina's hands trembled as she opened it. Dearest Alina, I've been offered a permanent position at the gallery, a chance to stay in the city and continue my work here. It's a dream come true, but it feels incomplete without you. I need to know, would you consider joining me here? I know the village is your home, and I would never ask you to leave unless it's something you truly want. But I can't imagine building a life without you. With all my love, Ethan. Alina sat with the letter in her lap, her mind racing. The village was her sanctuary, filled with memories and people she loved. But Ethan was her heart, her future. Could she leave everything behind for him? She spent the next few days in quiet reflection, seeking advice from the people she trusted most. Her best friend, Clara, reminded her that love often requires sacrifices, but also brings unimaginable rewards. Her heart was heavy with uncertainty until she visited the oak tree by the river, the place where her love story with Ethan had begun. Sitting there, surrounded by the beauty of nature, she realized something profound. Love wasn't about choosing one life over another. It was about creating a new life together. The reunion. On a chilly winter morning, Ethan returned to the village. He stepped off the cart, his eyes scanning the square for Alina. When he saw her running toward him, his heart leapt. She threw her arms around him, tears streaming down her face. You came back, she whispered. I told you I would, Ethan said, holding her tightly. Alina pulled back and looked into his eyes. I've made my decision. I want to be with you, Ethan, no matter where that takes me. We'll figure it out together. Ethan smiled, his heart overflowing with gratitude. I've been thinking too. The city doesn't feel like home without you. Let's find a way to blend our worlds, a place where we can both thrive. Building a new life. Together, they decided to split their time between the village and the city. Ethan continued to paint and exhibit his work, but he also started teaching art workshops in the village. Alina expanded her flower shop, partnering with city florists to bring the charm of the countryside to urban markets. Their love became a bridge between two worlds, proving that compromise and understanding could overcome any obstacle. They supported each other's dreams while building a shared future, never losing sight of what mattered most, their connection. The miracle lives on, years later, as they sat under the oak tree with their young daughter. Alina and Ethan reflected on their journey. The challenges they had faced had only strengthened their bond, teaching them that love isn't just a feeling, it's a choice, made every day with patience, effort, and trust. Their story became a symbol of hope for the village, a reminder that love can overcome distance, fear, and uncertainty. It's a miracle that transforms lives, not by magic, but through the courage to embrace its challenges and cherish its blessings. As the sun set over the river, Ethan turned to Alina and said, "You were right. Love is the greatest adventure, and I'm so glad I get to share it with you." Alina smiled, her heart full. "Me too, Ethan. Always." And with that, their love story continued, a never-ending miracle that inspired all who knew them. Part 3. The years passed, bringing new challenges and joys into Alina and Ethan's lives. Their shared dream of building a bridge between the village and the city had become a reality. Ethan's art flourished, now infused with the colors of love and togetherness, while Alina's flower shop became a symbol of the beauty that could blossom when two worlds intertwined. Yet, as with any journey, life had more tests in store for them. Challenges that would push their bond to its limits and ultimately reaffirm the strength of their love. The strain of success. As Ethan's fame grew, so did his responsibilities. He was constantly invited to gallery openings, art shows, and interviews. Alina, meanwhile, found herself busier than ever with her flower business. Their time together became scarce, and the quiet moments under the oak tree by the river felt like distant memories. One evening, as they sat in their cozy home in the village, Ethan noticed the exhaustion in Alina's eyes. "You've been working too hard," he said, gently taking her hand. Alina sighed. "I could say the same about you. It feels like we're always running in different directions. I miss us, Ethan." Her words hit him like a wave. He realized how much their love had been placed on the back burner as they chased their dreams. "You're right," he admitted. "We've let life take over. But I don't want to lose what we have. Alina, let's find a way to make time for us again." Rekindling the connection, determined to restore the intimacy they had once shared, Alina and Ethan made a pact. Every month, they would set aside time to reconnect, no matter how busy life became. Their first date was a simple picnic by the river. They laughed as they remembered their first meeting and talked about their dreams for the future. It was a reminder of why they had fallen in love in the first place. Slowly, these moments of togetherness became the glue that held their relationship steady. They learned to balance their ambitions with the needs of their hearts, proving that love requires continuous effort and care. A health scare, just as life seemed to be settling into a rhythm. A new challenge arose. Ethan began to experience pain in his hands, making it difficult for him to paint. Worried, Alina insisted he visit a doctor. The diagnosis was sobering: early-stage arthritis. The news devastated Ethan, who feared that his passion for painting might be taken from him. For weeks, Ethan struggled with anger and despair. He avoided his studio, the sight of his unfinished paintings too painful to bear. Alina, heartbroken to see him this way, tried to support him in every way she could. One evening, She placed a small canvas and paintbrush on the table in front of him. You once told me that art isn't just about your hands, it's about your heart, she said softly. Maybe it's time to find a new way to express yourself. Ethan looked at her, his eyes filled with both gratitude and uncertainty. What if I can't? He whispered. You can, Alina said firmly. I believe in you, Ethan, and I'll be here every step of the way. A new chapter. With Alina's encouragement, Ethan began experimenting with new techniques. He learned to adapt his brushstrokes, using tools that required less strain on his hands. He also explored other forms of art, like sculpture and digital painting, discovering talents he never knew he had. His journey wasn't easy, but with Alina by his side, he found the strength to keep going. His work became more profound, reflecting the resilience and love that had carried him through his struggles. Alina, too, found inspiration in Ethan's determination. She expanded her flower shop to include workshops on floral design, sharing her passion with others. Together, they continued to grow, their love serving as a foundation for their personal and professional successes. The gift of love. On their 10th anniversary, Ethan surprised Alina with a painting he had been working on in secret. It depicted the oak tree by the river, bathed in golden light, with two figures sitting beneath it, a symbol of their journey and the love that had endured through every challenge. Tears filled Alina's eyes as she looked at the masterpiece. It's beautiful, she whispered. Ethan took her hand and said, This tree is where it all began for us. It's a reminder that no matter what life throws at us, we'll always have each other. You're my miracle, Alina. Alina smiled through her tears. And you are mine. The miracle lives on as the years passed. Alina and Ethan's love story continued to inspire those around them. They became a pillar of strength and hope for their community, showing that love isn't just a fleeting emotion, it's a commitment, a choice, and a miracle that can transform lives. Together, they proved that while life may bring challenges, love has the power to overcome them all. And as they sat under the oak tree, watching the sun dip below the horizon, they knew that their journey was far from over. For the miracle of love is not a destination, it is a journey. And theirs was one that would last a lifetime. The final chapter, years turned into decades. And Alina and Ethan grew old together. The oak tree by the river became a sacred place for them, a living witness to their journey. It stood tall and unwavering, much like the love they had nurtured over the years. Their lives were full, enriched by the people they had touched and the lessons they had learned. Ethan's art had evolved into a celebration of life, resilience, and love, while Alina's flowers became a symbol of hope and renewal for all who visited her shop. A legacy of love. One spring afternoon, as they sat under the oak tree, their granddaughter, Lily, joined them. She was curious about the stories she had heard from the villagers about her grandparents' love. Grandma, Grandpa, Lily asked, her wide eyes full of wonder. What's the secret to staying so happy and in love after all these years? Ethan smiled, his hands now weathered but still strong as he held Alina's. The secret, my dear, is that love isn't just about the good times. It's about standing together when things get tough, finding joy in the small moments, and always choosing each other, day after day. Alina added, and it's about gratitude. Never take each other for granted. Even when life gets busy or hard, remember why you fell in love in the first place. That's the miracle of love. It grows deeper with time, if you nurture it. Lily listened intently, her heart warmed by their words. She could see the sparkle in their eyes as they looked at each other, a testament to the truth of their advice. A final gift. In their later years, Ethan and Alina decided to give something back to the community that had supported them throughout their lives. They opened a small art and flower school by the river, where children could learn to express themselves through creativity and nature. The school became a place of joy and inspiration, filled with laughter and color. Ethan's paintings adorned the walls, and Alina's flowers bloomed in every corner, creating a space where love and beauty thrived. Their legacy wasn't just in their work, but in the lives they touched, the couples who found hope in their story, the children who learned to dream, and the community that grew closer because of their example. The miracle lives on. One peaceful evening, as the sun set over the village, Ethan and Alina sat beneath the oak tree, holding hands. The years had taken their toll on their bodies, but their spirits remained as vibrant as ever. I've had the most wonderful life with you, Ethan said, his voice soft but steady. Alina leaned her head on his shoulder. And I with you. Our love truly was a miracle, wasn't it? Ethan nodded. It still is. As the stars began to twinkle above them, they closed their eyes, their hearts full of peace and gratitude. Together, they drifted into a gentle rest, their hands intertwined, a love story that would never truly end. The next morning, the villagers found them under the oak tree, their faces serene and their hands still clasped. They had passed on together, leaving behind a legacy of love that would be remembered for generations. The oak tree stood tall, its leaves rustling in the breeze as if whispering their story to the world. It became a place of pilgrimage for those seeking hope, a reminder that true love is not just a fleeting emotion, but a lifelong miracle. And so, the miracle of Alina and Ethan's love lived on in the hearts they had touched, the dreams they had inspired, and the legacy they had left behind. Moral of the story: love is a commitment. True love is not just about fleeting feelings, but about choosing each other every day, especially during life's challenges. The power of resilience. Love grows stronger when both people face obstacles together, supporting and uplifting each other through difficult times. Cherish small moments, the little acts of kindness, shared memories, and quiet moments matter the most in building a lasting connection. Gratitude sustains love. Never take love for granted. Appreciate your partner and celebrate the bond you share. Leave a legacy of love. The love you nurture can inspire others, creating a ripple effect that extends far beyond your lifetime. Love is timeless. True love transcends time, age, and even life itself, leaving a lasting impact on everyone it touches. I'm so glad you spent this time with me. If you like the story, please give it a thumbs up and subscribe for more. Take care, and see you next time.